Hi.
Hello.
I like how you bother to wait because no one will ever see the initial hi. No one will.
Well, just got to give some kind of pregnant pause.
A pregnant pause.
Yes.
You're just trying to put me on the spot, is that it?
Yes. John's pregnant, surprise.
Oh, well, I guess it's time everybody knew.
Yeah.
I am with child, apparently.
It's this RPG campaign.
Hey, Laurent is
Timing.
apparently Doncast today. I actually changed, thanks Laurent, by the way, for the subscription. I actually changed just the follower today, just to see if it worked. And I hadn't put all the variations in, but basically now if you follow, you'll get assigned a kith, and if you donate, you'll get assigned a house. You'll become noble.
House keypad.
House keypad.
Yeah. I want to be in house keypad.
That's what you want?
Yeah.
What if keypad is part of an unseelie house?
I don't care wherever keypad goes. I follow.
Oh my.
Like a
What if
moth
keypad
to
is
the
full of
flame.
dastardly deeds?
Yes. Such a roguish charmer. I don't know.
Oh my, again. Tell keypad that. So, we got a few people in. Notably, we have every player in this game lurking around somewhere.
Yay!
But it looks like we'll have some other people coming in. No, Aragwen, it's not up yet. That's the eventual plan. No. I
Wait,
can
what's
deny.
up yet? What?
Aragwen just donated to test the thing, but it's not up yet.
Oh no! Worst day ever.
I'll refund that, Aragwen. I'll give it back so that it'll work later. Low crystallized. Yeah, things still aren't quite perfect. I was just kind of jerking around with it for a bit, but
It's just jerking around.
no, Aragwen. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily do that.
Ooh, 42. Nice choice. Yeah.
Thank you, Rock Pants. I mean, now everybody's doing these things, and I'm like, I haven't had time to set it all up yet. I was trying to do some of it yesterday, but Twitch was down.
Yeah, what was the deal with that?
I don't know. Twitch was down for a lot of people. Possibly everyone.
Unacceptable, Twitch. If you're out there and listening, unacceptable. I have a killer jab now, so I can just...
You have a killer jab? I don't think it's going to be all that killer. I think your arm's probably going to fall off.
Yeah, even this hurts to an absurd degree.
Oh dear. Aragwen, I am refunding this to you so that you can send it back when I actually have it set up. That's just the way it is.
Oh wow, that is dead. That is DED dead. Yeah, I had boxing training today. It was good. Kicked my ass. Many things hurt. You know. Tomorrow I'm going to be just a puddle of a human.
There we go.
Boy.
All right. So Aragwen, you can take care of that on your end, but just know that donations don't have the new banner up yet. They will later. They'll probably be up by next Sunday. But well, thank you, Kung Fu Fenris. And hello, Krister. Productive. I'm not sure what productive means.
Can you explain to us?
Everybody's a Cluricarn at the moment, Aragorn. There's only the one Kith. I haven't put all the variations up yet, so.
Real Brick Wall, I'm assuming it's American boxing, although I do not know the difference between American and English boxing. It's not kickboxing. So there's that.
Don't throw rage pillows, Aragorn. Don't do it. Why are you throwing rage pillows?
My gloves were pretty big, I guess. Yeah, that's American.
You broke... Oh.
Oh, no. You...
Oh. I'm so sorry.
You break your tooth on toast?
If it has, like, flax seeds in it or something like that, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Aragorn, why are you raging? Tell me why the rage. Fractured in half. Somebody who I'm quite close to, a family member, I won't say which one, once fell down concrete steps and so has a keyhole in that she fractured the corners of both her two front teeth. So she had a keyhole and then she had to have caps put in. You wouldn't be able to tell now. Aragorn, okay, but the whole point, Aragorn, was to not do that.
No,
the more that we
angry.
do this, the
She's
more
rageful.
PayPal gets rich and we get poorer. Fuck. Because I mentioned that I was going to do this, and Aragorn wrote "sounds good" in the chat at 1903. So apparently, rage donations are a thing now.
Yay! Rage, rage, rage.
Rage pillows unleashed. I can just keep refunding it all day, and then eventually PayPal is just going to make like 25 cents taking it away from my account each time, and then I'll have nothing. But at least we'll be together in stupidity.
Cyberspace?
I don't actually know. I can just replay the donation next stream.
That's true. Kate, always with the logic.
I don't even know how to do that. I'd have to actually go and look. I don't know how to specifically replay a specific donation. Oh. I have not had a chance to see the thing that you sent about the thing. I've been at work. However, I will look at it later. Liz is going to look confused. This is intentional. Liz doesn't know what we're talking about. I'm also okay with just watching Liz tap her nose.
Oh, my belly just made a noise. Did anyone else hear that? It went.
Nope. I will say, however, that your lovely hair is quite lovely. However, the camera angle at the moment makes it look like you are wearing your hair and nothing else.
I'm okay with that. Whee!
I mean,
Is this
you can do either one. I don't mind. I'm just saying. If I get my channel nixed because of that, then...
John, you have a naked mermaid on your channel.
Apparently.
Bail, bail, bail.
So, I suppose now that we've kind of jerked around for 8 minutes and Aragorn's rage pillowed at me and all of that, we've already known, by the way... oh, and you got cheered too.
Yes.
We also know that that Aragorn will send a pillow when she needs to. So don't worry, this is being recorded. This will go up on YouTube. So like, this is meant to be canon. It is going to be included. However, these bonus streams are not meant to be required. They are skippable. Can you make a sweater from your hair? That's such a creepy question.
Challenge accepted.
You don't want to know where I'd have to harvest the hair from.
Oh, John, no.
I'm not making a sweater out of this.
Don't wear that sweater. You don't know where it's been. Oh no.
For a while, I had a lock of my really long hair. God damn it! Everybody's just sending donations.
When will it end? Stop the insanity.
Well, no, don't stop donating. Just understand that it's not going to be special yet. Fuck. I suppose I have to thank everybody. Anyway,
I'm thanking people I don't even know who donated because I can't see.
It's
But
the
I want
crosshair.
to thank you, Bunny, and you, Aragorn. Ow.
Oh, dude, your arms must be wrecked.
They hurt. It hurts. God. All right.
Anyway, so these are, like I was saying, these are not required. You can skip these sessions if you want to, but these are to give some more insight into characters themselves and give the players a chance to take actions that probably shouldn't be taking place during a main session just because we don't have the time, and they may be very personal. They may be such as conversations that are one-on-one from one character to another, or a character taking care of business perhaps in their mortal or private lives that doesn't have doesn't require having other players around. Now, there's a few caveats on this. The first, we might be rolling some dice this session. This is new, so bear with us. Two, if anything happens in this session that I would then deem to be important enough that the other players should have a chance to interfere, it'll pause immediately and we'll wait until Sunday to take care of it. Does that work out for you?
Works great for me.
And that's correct. You would see Netrunner in the background. I think that's Scott's copy of Terminal Directive behind Liz's right shoulder. Oh my god! Rock pits! Son of a bitch. Oh, jeez. I don't know if I can replay these donations. I don't know.
He's gonna figure it out. It's fine. I'm not worried.
What if I can't? Then I guess I'll just refund all those donations and people can do it again. But I suppose there are worse things in the world than having people donate to the stream out of spite. It's a nice chair. I like your
Thank
chair
you.
too.
I'm even pinker than usual. Pink chair, pink hair, and pink pamplemousse Saint-Ambroise IPA.
Maybe I don't want to be special. That's like a temporary point of penalty for everyone in the chat.
I donate spitefully. Best reason to donate. Out of spite.
Spite sex, not a good thing.
How did we jump to that so fast?
How am I? Why is now Lo yelling at me with a middle name that I don't actually have?
Esteban.
All right.
Oh, that's where the spite sex came from. Pamplemousse, yeah. Bobblehead, I expect a screenplay on my desk tomorrow morning, because that is an amazing premise.
I really hope that it actually legitimately makes it onto your desk, which means that they found your desk and put it on your desk.
Actually, the thing I would be most surprised by is if he managed to find room on my desk, because my desk is covered in shit. Yeah. Pamplemousse.
All right.
Pamplemousse
So,
takes on
what were you
everything.
hoping to accomplish today? So that I can
yes.
put it into the setting.
Right. So Sophia has the address of Officer Beaubien, who she had met in the first session, who had given her some parking tickets, and she would like another meeting with him.
All right. And when would you be doing this?
So I imagine this would be the day after.
That
the
would be
events.
August 19th.
Yeah.
2017. Spoilers. It's so yeah, for anybody who's concerned about spoilers, first of all, there isn't nearly enough game content for there to be spoilers at this point. I don't think that any like shocking revelations have come up that will come up in this particular. And now the crosshairs donated another 5 with the message, I hope this doesn't turn into a donation battle, #chaos money. For a second, we were back in the Imperial Manse. And now we've got ellipses. We haven't even started playing, and people are just having a donation battle. So
Yay! I'm okay with this.
So that's a thing. Anyway, so you wanted to try to inspire Officer Beaubien.
Well,
I forget. Did I give him a first name?
No, I gave him his last name, and we have not learned his first name yet. So get thinking.
His first name is now Pierre.
Okay. Would this have been on the information that Kyoko gave me?
Possibly Pierre-Luc. We'll make it Pierre-Luc.
Well, he'll be able to introduce himself because I don't know him yet. So
well, I need decide. To give no. Kyoko would have had his full name. It wouldn't just be his last name.
Yeah.
It's not Friday 8/18. It's Saturday August 19th. Pierre-Luc Beaubien. There you go. Laurent knows what's up. Aragorn. God damn it.
Okay, John, stop refunding them.
I'm not refunding. I haven't refunded any since the first one.
Oh, okay. I thought you kept refunding, and that's why they were doing it.
No. Now they're just doing it so that I get messed up. All right. Okay. So then where was it that you wanted to go?
So among the information that Kyoko gave me is an address for Monsieur Pierre-Luc Beaubien, and he lives in the Plateau. It's a neighborhood of Montreal. It's just east of the downtown core, so it's east of where we are. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop on the metro, have my harp. Actually, you guys don't know how I carry my harp, so let's take a little let's take a journey. When Sophia gets ready to go out busking for the day, she picks up, her harp case, but rather than lugging a huge harp all around Montreal, her little lizard, Mab, actually transforms into a harp and back into a lizard. So when she is carrying the harp around, she actually has Mab on her shoulder, and then when she gets set up, it becomes the harp. And any mortal that might look at that and think that it was strange is actually, they're able to justify it because of the mists. So it's just kind of like, oh, there's a harp there, huh? Okay, cool. So that's how she gets around.
Yes, we do hear notifications from Facebook. Otherwise, people wouldn't be able to hear anything. I will endeavor to close that, but I do get notifications from Facebook from the other players as they're discussing in our Facebook chat behind everyone's backs. So you can enjoy that. All right, so you are heading to the plateau.
Yeah, she's going to get off the metro at Mount Royal Station and set up. There's like a nice little outdoor market, somebody selling maple products and flowers, and so she's just going to set up right next to them and start to play.
And is she just sort of hoping that he'll show up, or?
She is. This is very, very close to where he lives. It would make sense for him to get to work this way, so she's hoping that she'll see him.
You mean cops don't just drive their police cars home and park them outside their duplexes and...
Not in Montreal. That I know of.
So, what kind of music are you choosing to play today? Anything specific, or...?
It's an upbeat, folky tune. She wants to get people in a good mood, maybe dancing.
Dancing with a harp.
Yeah.
All right. So, as your playing starts, let's see if we can find something that would... I should find harp music is what I should really do.
I should find some too. I'll work on that.
To help out. Kate's trying to post a Google Maps link.
Did it work?
Unfortunately, the URLs don't really work very well because there's an @ symbol in them, so you'll have to copy and paste that directly, probably with a space after the URL between "this is where she is" and there. But anyway, either way. So as you start to play, for the first hour, nothing happens. I'm going to ask you to roll 1 die for me. Let's see if you pull a 1.
3. Sorry.
All right. So after the first hour, there's enough people who kind of pass by who are willing to drop a few bucks into your... well, you don't have a harp case. What do you use to collect money?
I do have the case.
So
maybe it's smaller than it should be for the size of a harp, though, but it's bigger on the inside.
Oh, I see. Could you roll me your... We're going to say it's your appearance performance, please.
Sweet. Oh, what's the difficulty?
It's early morning 6.
6, okay. And because my performance is harp, would that double zeros in this case?
Yes, it would.
Yeah, it would. Okay, cool. That is 7 successes.
In fact, there was an experiment done a few years ago where they got an internationally renowned violinist playing an instrument that was worth thousands and thousands of dollars in the New York subway, just to see if people would stop and give them more money compared to, say, a normal street busker. And the reality of it is that while there were a few people who recognized that this was a truly virtuoso performance, a lot of people just simply appreciated it and moved on. Perhaps it's something to do with the fact that the world around us moves so quickly these days that you don't have time to stop and listen to somebody who is playing. But not today. Today, you've attracted a crowd. And it's a crowd that a couple of STM officers come in to try and break up, except they then also realize that something special is going on. And you're getting donations, that's the case, but there's enough of a crowd that then people are very deliberately just not leaving. This isn't the sort of thing where they stick around for 3 minutes and then move on. And it's attracting more and more and more attention. And sometimes with that much attention, some people who can't afford to stick around and listen to your concert may get irate. And with somebody who's irate comes inevitably some interference from police. Now, after the police arrive and realize that something's happening, they start to wade their way through the crowd, trying to get to you. Are you going to continue to play, or are you just going to...
I'm still going, as though I don't notice. As
And
though I'm so wrapped up in what's happening.
All right. I'm going to make a roll. In the meantime, people aren't so entranced that they're unable to, like, push the police officers out of the way. People aren't going to start breaking too many laws just to get a chance to keep listening to you. I assume that you have a busking license?
Yes, I do.
So, there isn't that. But let's see how the police react to your playing. So, two officers approach you, a man and a woman, neither of whom are the person you're looking for. And one of them leans in close, not wanting to touch you, but still saying, "I'm sorry. You're attracting too much of a crowd."
I'm very sorry. I didn't know that my playing music was causing such a disturbance.
My suggestion is to take your donations and call it a good day. We have to keep the people moving here.
Well, is there somewhere better that I might be able to play? I mean, this is my livelihood after all. I have a license.
And the woman just sort of there's just no room here. You would need to play in a park somewhere, or a... We'll erect some barriers for you.
I'm embarrassed because I had a similar problem in the old port just the other day with Officer Beaubien.
The two of them look at each other, and there's this slight kind of like eye rolling that you can detect from them. And then they look back. We'll get barriers to make sure that people who want to listen can stay on one side. After today, you'll have to make other arrangements.
Of course. And once again, I apologize for the inconvenience.
Roll me your perception alertness, please.
Mm-hmm. What's the diff?
Your difficulty is 7.
That is 1 success.
1 success?
Yeah.
You hear the man say to the woman, "Why am I not surprised?"
Oh,
As
I'm
they
sorry.
leave.
Have I said something wrong?
He turns back. "Oh, no. I just... Officer Beaubien isn't someone you should be worried about."
He seemed to be very unhappy.
He's not unhappy, he's just eccentric. Excuse me. And they go off and try to find, those sort of daisy-chained barriers to sort of block places off. And it does a little something to help prevent people, but as long as you keep playing, they'll still be there.
Are the officers still there?
Yes, they stop by and observe to make sure that at least traffic can flow, although you get the impression that a large part of the reason they're staying is because the music's that good.
As I start to play, I'm just gonna carry on a little conversation with them. I have been told that my music is really good at elevating people's moods. To be honest, I was hoping that Officer Beaubien would be strolling by today.
Wait, you have a thing for... Really? And the woman kind of smirks, and the guy's like, because if you're looking for somebody, he's maybe not the best choice.
Why? What's wrong with him?
He just keeps to himself a lot. He doesn't talk to other people at work. He clocks in, he does his job, and then he goes as quickly as he can.
doesn't necessarily seem like terrible qualities. Maybe he's shy, maybe he likes to work. Is there something else?
I appreciate that you are looking out for him. I just don't know why you'd want to waste your time on him, that's all.
Well, I spend a lot of my time playing music outdoors. And I see a lot of police officers, and I wouldn't want to accidentally do anything wrong.
As long as you have your permit in order, you're not doing anything wrong here. Oh, shit. So you can see the man in question, and he's passing by. He's already dressed in full uniform. Hit on the other cop. He's already dressed in full uniform. And you can see, though, that he's walking slowly. He hasn't noticed the other cops yet, but he is walking slowly, and you can tell that he's trying to keep his eyes on you through the crowd.
Thank you so much for all of your help. I really appreciate it. And I'm just going to quickly pack up my things.
As you're packing up your things, the cops nod. The crowd starts to disperse after a burst of applause, and the guy mutters to the woman, "I can't believe she's going for him. What does he have that I?" And then she hits him on the shoulder, and then they both grin at each other and they move on.
All right, so I gather up my things. All of a sudden, the harp just becomes a little lizard, and I grab her, and she settles in just under my collar.
Mm-hmm.
And I am hustling. I'm hurrying after the officer.
So it isn't very long until he stops and he turns around. Are you following me?
I wanted to talk to you. Do you have a minute?
Madame, you'll have to go to court to contest those tickets.
This is not about the tickets. I promise. I won't bring them up. Where are you going? Can I walk with you?
I'm headed to work.
That is on my way.
Okay. Okay. And he continues to walk, but he slowed his pace somewhat. Right close to the escalators, you can see that the cop, instead of actually hitting the escalators, has looked back to glance back at you one more time, and he slams his body against the railing instead of actually making it onto the escalator, grunting, and his partner starts laughing out loud, and completely red-faced, he gets back on the escalator and heads up.
Was this the other cop?
This is the other cop, not your person.
So we are heading into the metro, or are we walking?
You're walking out of the metro.
Okay. Yeah. I'm Sophia, by the way. I don't know if I had ever said that.
No. You didn't.
What should I call you?
Roll me charisma and empathy.
Sweet.
6.
Okay. What kind of a role is this? What kind of a charisma?
This is to see whether or not he's sufficiently charmed by you to start saying his real name, or whether he's going to give you a pithy answer.
Would you say silver-tongued would factor into this charisma role?
Yes.
Huh. And you said 6?
Yes.
That is 3 successes.
It's Pierre-Luc.
Lovely to meet you. Officially, Pierre-Luc.
Yet, how can I help you?
What do you mean?
You're walking with me. Why?
Is it so strange that somebody might want to accompany you on your way to work?
Generally, people I give tickets to don't want to accompany me unless it's to complain about it.
Suppose I'm not like other people.
I guess not.
You were doing your job. I understand. What has been bothering me ever since is not the fact that you gave me tickets, but just the whole mood of our conversation really didn't sit well with me.
The mood.
Mood. I don't like having unpleasant conversations, and that was a very unpleasant one. And it made me sad. And I was thinking about it for a long time afterwards, and hoping that I would run into you again, because I wanted to know what made you so sad.
He stops on a street corner, and now people are sort of filtering out around the two of you. I don't like giving tickets. I hate giving tickets. If I could do anything else, it would be not soon enough. Every time I give somebody a ticket, it's basically to tell them that they have done something wrong. And most of the time, it's because they've done something only as dangerous as parking in a place they shouldn't have.
If you could do anything else, what would it be?
I don't know. And
I think you do. Tell me, I'm curious.
I would want to be a sculptor. But you can't make money being a sculptor these days.
You're speaking to a professional busker.
I'm speaking to somebody who plays the harp better than I could ever sculpt. And you can't sculpt in the metro for loose change.
When was the last time you sculpted something?
Why are you asking me this?
Because I want to know.
6 months.
Why did you stop?
I can't afford it. I can't afford to just spend the time, buy the materials. I don't even have a proper studio anymore.
Well, it's not ideal, but the materials don't have to be expensive, and you don't have to sculpt in a studio. It doesn't have to be your full-time job. You don't have to give up your other work. People do have hobbies, you know?
It's an expensive hobby. I mean, I sculpt out of metal, usually.
I suppose in this city with unending construction, it can be hard to come across extra metal lying around.
Well, what do you want from me?
I want to know what you would sculpt right now, if you could.
That's gonna be another roll.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you to roll. Let me just see here. I'm gonna ask you to roll. Oh, is this?
Extra.
Yeah, this is. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to roll your appearance empathy on this one.
Sweet. And is this? We haven't started Reverie or anything.
No. You haven't actually decided to do anything with him yet. This is just sort of leading it up. You're reducing the difficulty of your roll by...
Fabulous. What is the difficulty?
Difficulty here is 6.
Would my specialty in appearance?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's 6 successes.
He blushes, and that's answer enough. And he starts walking, not to get away from you, but instead of answering, he's just gonna continue walking.
I'm gonna keep.
He's not trying to get away from you.
Yep. You know what I think?
I can honestly tell you that I have no idea what you're thinking.
I think you should sculpt something.
I think I have to go to work.
That wasn't a no.
He stops and he looks back at you. I really do have to go to work. And on his face, it is so clear that if he could do anything in the world right now, it's not go to work.
Here's what I'll say. Apparently, my busking outside of Mount Royal Metro causes some kind of disturbance. I can't busk there anymore. But I will make sure that somewhere on your way to work, I will have set up my harp and I will be playing. I will be there every day. And you come and see me if you need any kind of motivation, inspiration, or if you just want to listen to music. But I'm not going to let this go.
I don't want you to let it. Why me? I don't understand. You could do anything you wanted. Why me?
Because when we spoke, I saw somebody who was desperate for something more. You clearly want to create, and there's nothing I love more than helping people create.
I couldn't sculpt you.
You don't have to. You can sculpt whatever you want.
I don't think I could sculpt anything that would match you. There isn't enough beauty in metal compared to you.
It's very sweet. But
I don't
frankly,
think there's
it's
enough
not a
beauty
good
in
reason
paint.
Not to try.
Sorry, say again?
Frankly, it's not a good enough reason not to try. If you're worried that I'm going to be offended, I can guarantee I have seen far worse.
If I could capture 1/10 of you, they would put me in the Louvre. And there's now pain in the back of his eyes.
If you truly don't want to, I'm not going to say I understand, but it's up to you.
Have you ever worked as a model?
I certainly have.
All right, so I need you to roll your perception empathy.
Nice.
Would my insightfulness specialty come into
Yes,
play?
that would come into play.
Yay. There is not enough BT in metal. Difficulty?
Difficulty here is going to be 7.
Okay. 5.
Okay. And what's your glamour rating?
My glamour rating is 5.
Okay.
Good.
So if you have a look at the Autumn She Birthrights and Frailties,
Yes.
the Autumn She frailty is adoration.
Yep.
Autumn She are better with mortals than their Arcadian cousins, but that carries problems of its own. Anytime an Autumn She successfully enchants or even meaningfully interacts with a mortal, the storyteller should roll the mortal's willpower against the difficulty of the She's glamour rating. You said your glamour rating was?
5.
So that's 1 success. So they did not fail. He's not going to start stalking you.
Hooray! For now.
But you can hear him swallow incredibly hard. This is a lot for him to take in. He's not falling for you in terms of love, but there's something about you that's teasing a world he can't have.
Sweet. Well,
I would almost swear you don't even wear contacts.
oh. Please, yeah. I know they're strange.
I would find a way to keep water in place. Still liquid, still flowing, but that's the only way I could ever capture you.
That's beautiful.
It's impossible.
You might have the soul of a poet as well as the soul of a sculptor.
All right, now I want you to roll. So you are attempting at this point to
Inspire the mortal.
inspire the mortal. All right.
Sophia's thirsty for glamour.
Thirsty Thirsty for glamour, the Sophia story.
Beautiful and made it ugly. What have you done? All right.
So you can't ravage, but you
Correct.
can commit reverie. Let's see here.
Inspire creativity, which is also my musing threshold.
That's true. All right.
Okay, yes. So, guys, this is part of the reason why we're doing this bonus session. We're going to walk you through what reverie and inspire creativity, what we're doing right now. This is, mechanically speaking, one of the most important things that Sophia does as a character. So, get comfortable.
So here's how it's going to work. You are essentially trying to figure out exactly what inspires him. You're quite close, which means that your particular role to initiate reverie is going to be relatively easy. And then after you've successfully inspired, you can reap the benefits of his creation, of his art. His inspiration will equal glamour for you.
Yeah.
The mortal's not going to get stocky. Or wait, yeah. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to roll perception and kenning at a difficulty of 8.
Damn. I'm going to invoke my insightful specialty in this.
Yep. Are you going to spend willpower?
No.
All right.
3 successes.
3 successes. So 3 successes means that it's going to take you about a week to successfully go through this, to guide him along. Now you sort of started on the Friday, but he's going to he stops. I can't afford to pay you. What do you do beyond playing?
I play and I speak to people. I find out what it is they like to do. Find out if they're unhappy with their work, if they wish that they could be doing something creative in their spare time but haven't quite figured out where their strengths are. I help them find it. And it truly brings me tremendous joy.
To just inspire. I want to believe you.
I'd like you to believe me too.
It's hot out today.
Go on to work.
And you say that you'll be back.
Count on it.
If you don't, it's all right. I don't. Okay. Just, okay. And there's a moment's hesitation as he stops outside the station, as if he isn't sure how to end the conversation.
Until tomorrow.
À demain. And he takes few tentative steps, and then he just like bolts for the door, practically. So now you're standing outside a police station.
Sophia takes a little breath, looks around, smile on her face. She knows that this is what she does. And starts walking back to her home. Just made a good amount of money today. Man, tapped a little glamour well, so, just feeling good.
Now, are you going to return the following day?
Yes.
When you come back the following day, it's, funnily enough, the weather is miserable. We're talking terrifyingly bad in some cases. It's very windy, and the rain is smashing down. If you'll recall, this is Sunday, so there were very brief periods of rain, but they were intense.
Yep.
And this was not the day of the mini tornado.
No, thank goodness.
No, that's, was that the 21st or the 22nd? Is that a Monday or a Tuesday?
I don't remember.
I think it might have been a Tuesday. And so there aren't as many people in the crowd, but then there he is at the... Are you doing this in the morning or the evening?
In the morning.
And there
She's
he
a morning
is.
Person. She's had her tea.
He passes by, but he doesn't approach this time. He just takes a seat along a bench a bit further away and just listens. And you get the impression that he's also trying hard to divorce the way you appear from the way that you play, but that's not quite possible for him. His eyes keep flickering back to you, even though he's trying to focus on the harp. Mab, at the end of the play session, seems a little self-satisfied with herself as she settles back down on your shoulder.
She's a diva bitch, that's for sure.
He hesitates again, just stays sitting on the bench as if he doesn't want to approach you.
Gonna pack up my things as before and go over to him. Huge smile on my face.
You came back.
I said I would.
I thought for certain it was a dream.
I didn't want the next time we meet each other to be at court. That was a joke.
This isn't about the traffic tickets.
No, it isn't. Are you finally starting to understand that?
Yeah, I guess so. I have to get to work again.
And after work?
I don't have any plans.
Good. You can get started on the sculpture.
Right here?
After work.
But I don't know where you'll be.
I can be here. I can be outside work.
I'll meet you here. 6 o'clock?
Sure. Done.
Okay. And he heads off, and he comes back 6 o'clock. And this is after the events of last episode. Crosshair. He comes back, and now he's carrying 2 coffees. And he hands one to you, and he apologizes because he doesn't know what kind of coffee you like. And he keeps up a string of babbling as he heads, as he starts walking with you. And then he stops after about a block. I have a place in my apartment. I don't want to ask you to go there if you don't.
I thought you said you didn't have a studio.
You'll see.
Lead the way.
When he takes you up to his apartment, he's taken... Whoop.
One sec.
This is what I have to deal with. I have to deal with she just coming in and out of my life.
Hello.
He's taken his kitchen and put everything from his dining room into the kitchen. Just shoved tables and chairs and a bookshelf so that now you can navigate in the kitchen as long as you're comfortable climbing on top of wooden furniture. And in his dining room, he's taken down his actual curtains and put up, you know, those sort of translucent ones, like it's enough to sort of cover the windows, but it'll let light still come in.
Mm-hmm.
And he has one small table in front of him. And on this table, it's about the size of a large desk. He has clay just sitting there.
Looks like you found some less expensive material to work with.
I need to make a mold.
I'm impressed.
I don't know what you're doing to me.
Me neither. So, you're the sculptor? What next?
I wouldn't dare ask anything. I think I'll sculpt what I can find. So there is a chair set out in the light.
I knew someone was gonna make a ghost reference.
It's not a pottery wheel.
I knew it. It was just waiting. I'm gonna go sit.
Oh, is the chair like dusty at all? Is it dirty? How's the cleanliness level on this?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's find out whether he chair's clean.
Okay, good.
So he actually doesn't start. Instead, he just starts engaging in conversation, just talking. And he's adding water to the clay and kneading it with his hands. You can tell that he's actually got a lot of strength in his forearm, just being able to just knead into this clay. But he doesn't actually sculpt anything.
She's just sitting very quietly, watching him.
Your hands are always in motion when I see you, and you're so still here. This is why I can't sculpt you. You don't deserve to be locked in one place.
People take photographs of beautiful buildings, of lakes and sunsets and waterfalls and rainbows. And they don't worry themselves over whether or not it will be exactly the same as that thing of beauty.
His head hangs and his cheeks flush, and he reaches into his pockets. And incidentally, sticking clay like mushed hands in your pockets it's something. It's not a smart thing to do.
Oh, as in he has clay on his hands and he just put them in his pockets.
Yes. That
You're going to
would
ruin
not be
the
enough to trigger your thing. That's not unclean. That's just...
It's just...
And he shamefully pulls out his phone and he hands it to you.
I'm gonna take the phone by a corner that doesn't have all the clay on it.
Well, it's not... It doesn't
Okay.
really get clay all over it. The phone is fine.
Okay, I'm gonna look at it.
In the photos, there's a photo of you. The one he took when he met you.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't
Are you
deserve to be
ashamed of
there.
this photo?
Sorry?
Are you ashamed of
Yes.
having taken this photo of me without my permission?
Yes. But I don't think you're gonna like the answer as to why.
Why?
I have the right to take your photo. And I know I shouldn't necessarily without your permission, but when I came home and I looked at it, I realized that it was nothing. It was just a picture. You didn't deserve to be seen that way.
I agree. I'm a much better model when I know I'm being photographed. And I like being photographed. I like it when people paint pictures of me or when people sculpt me.
Why do I get the impression that you're going to go away?
Because I will eventually.
Perception empathy on that. Difficulty 8.
Hippadoodloo. Yeah, get to work, Pure. Aw, I was doing so well. I botched.
He seems relieved
Okay.
after you said that you're going to go away eventually.
I did say eventually, though.
All right. Okay. I don't want you to take your harp out, but I want to see you move.
Doing what? Sewing, dancing, drawing. I'm reasonably good at all of those.
And just stand.
What's up?
Okay. Okay. And he starts to sculpt. And when he looks at you, it's painfully obvious that at a certain point in this day, his feelings about you have shifted. He's now very definitely developed a crush on you.
Oh, Pierre.
Turn on some EDM and dim the lights. When he's finished, you can see that all he's done is created something that looks like your left hand.
Is
Elegant
that what the finished sculpture is going to look like? Going to be of my hand?
I don't know. That's the part of you that I can't get out of my head.
I love it.
It's how you create music. I realize that I only know what it looks like.
Nobody's ever taken this approach before.
No?
No. People have some kind of fascination with my hair, so usually my hair ends up in the sculpture, which, to be honest, is not the best idea when you're sculpting out of clay or marble.
It's not going to be out of clay. I'll make a mold. And then I'll find a way to get whatever I can find. I don't know what I could use to capture your hand. May I see it? And he reaches forward and... Okay, Liz, I know that you must be aware of the hover hand.
Yeah.
So for you guys out there in Twitchland who may not know, the hover hand is where you're posing for a photo with somebody and you put your arm around them. Yeah. But you don't actually put your hand on them or your arm. You're basically putting your hand just above the shoulder. It's super fucking awkward. It's, at least for me, I don't know about you, but I'd rather, if somebody's going to pretend to put their arm around me, I'd rather they just put their arm around me.
I think if you're getting a bunch of photos taken in a row,
you might feel differently.
Maybe. I don't know. I've never been in that situation.
Well, either way, he's not hover-handing you, but because it's not that he's like surreptitiously, I'm not touching you. He's very deliberately not touching your hand. Can you come back later?
Of course. If you think it'll help.
I'll be honest, I know what I want this to look like, but I also know that you're distracting me.
So I'm going to give you time to work. And I'll come back after you've had some time.
What if I don't want you to go?
It's difficult because I like your company, but I want to see this sculpture finished.
Okay. Friday. I'll have something to show you on Friday.
I can't wait.
In the interim, Friday is the 25th. Weather hits Montreal hard. A downforce wrecks Girouard Park and cuts power to some of the inhabitants of the city.
No.
And so what do you do on Friday?
Get ready. Did we settle a time for when I should go over there?
Yeah, he mentioned the after work.
Cool. So I'm gonna go and get a tea for myself and a coffee for him.
Okay.
And show up at the door.
So when you knock on the door, he answers it, and he's dressed in just a clean button-down shirt. He has very recently washed his hands. You can notice that he's picked under his fingernails even.
Nice. I do notice these little attentions.
And then
Oh yeah, where's Pierre's place?
it's in the plateau.
It's in the plateau.
Yeah. So he indicates to you the sculpture now, the fingers have been given a lot of detail, but now the hand isn't by itself. Now the hand is suspended, and it isn't immediately clear how, but it's suspended, and its fingers are resting on very delicate silver wire that has it, and it's not like straight harp strings. They entwine with themselves, almost creating like a spider web, and your fingers are pulling just a little bit at the web itself.
That's extraordinary.
I don't know what to do with it.
What do you mean you don't know what to do with it?
I don't know what to do with it. I don't know whether I should show it to anyone or not. I'm only showing it to you because I feel I should.
I'm glad you did.
Roll
I'm
me
not
now.
lying when I say that I love it.
Roll me now. Manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been hitting the empathy pretty hard, so we're going to say manipulation empathy.
Okay. Dead empathy.
This difficulty is going to be 5.
That is 0 successes. Not a botch, but just no successes.
Okay. He looks up. I don't think it's good enough.
Is there anyone else that you could show whose opinion you trust?
I trust your opinion. I just don't think it matches you.
Oh, I think it does.
When I look at you, do you know what I feel?
What?
When I see this hand and this spider web, I see beauty. I don't see longing.
Where would the longing come from?
I don't know. You should go. Before I do something stupid.
Do you want me to come back?
I wish you'd come back every day. But I know I'm not that lucky.
Is the sculpture finished?
Not a chance.
Are you telling me the truth?
It can't be finished yet. I don't even know how your hand feels. And I need this to show everything.
I take his hand and press it up against my hand.
His breath catches. And then he meets your eyes, and he sees that they're still not quite the right kind of color. How many men fall in love with you every day? Just for a moment.
Just men? I must be losing my touch. That was a joke.
Come back in a week.
See you then.
I'll see you then. And when you close the door, you hear the sound of like a chisel being thrown against the wall. And then he opens the door and he calls you back in.
I'll go to the threshold and lean against the doorway.
Can I ask you something? What do you get out of this? Is it me? Is it that you're just... You're giving me something that I've wanted for so long, and I feel like I can't do it enough. I can't do it well enough for you. So I need to know what you need.
Are you going to believe me if I tell you?
Yes.
Beauty. I get beauty.
Then all I have to do is give you a mirror. What do you need?
I need beauty created by other people. People who don't feel that they have anything else to offer. People who trod through their lives day after day in a gray haze. I want to bring color and vibrancy to people's lives and so much beauty. I knew you wouldn't believe me.
It's not about not believing you, it's just... I didn't think that you were doing this to pick me up. I didn't think that you were doing this to get out of a parking ticket. I don't know if anyone exists in the world that just is willing to do this.
And yet here we are.
I don't want to put you on a pedestal, and I don't want to fetishize you, and I don't want to make you feel like I'm doing this strictly out of attraction or lust or love or anything like that. I want to do this because you wanted me to. I want to do it for myself. Which means it's not ready.
It will be ready when you look at it and realize that you made it for you and not for me. Is that it?
When we first met... No. When we met the second time, I would have been happy if you had asked me out on a date. And now I can't be happy unless I can capture you, and I can't do that. I can't do that if I'm too close to you. Do you understand?
I do.
Then let me see your hand again. And he looks at the hand, and this time he does take it, and he turns it very gently, just to look. Do you only play the harp?
The harp is what I play. Yes.
Do you play different kinds of music?
I'd like to think I could play everything. Not everything sounds good on a harp.
Do you play people?
I don't like to think of it that way. I'm very curious. I want to know all about people. And I have ways of finding out what I want to know. Sometimes I use that information to talk with them more, or to get them to create things. Things that they truly wanted to create, but needed a reason or an excuse. And I come along and they're able to do it. And I'm not ashamed of that.
One more week. I'll try my best, but not for you.
Good. I'll see you in a week. Poof.
But in a week's time is technically tomorrow.
Yay!
So that's it. Unless you have another action you want to take.
By in a week's time, technically tomorrow. Oh yeah, so do you mean tomorrow?
So you stopped August 25th.
Yes.
Next week is Friday the 1st.
Right.
Now, we could play that. I just don't know how much longer it's going to be until the next Sunday. So you can, if you choose, continue this now. Or you can stop because you have other things that you want to take care of that will be involved on Sunday. That's up to you.
Like this coming Sunday.
Yes.
So we could potentially
So either, here's what would happen. Either we continue playing this now, and you assume that you are going to wait another week and you're going to talk to him, and that whatever happens in-game on Sunday will happen after this. Or
Okay.
we stop now, you play the next Sunday, and then you go back to him after that. That's up to you.
Ooh, I'm fine with either option. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Kung Fu does not like musing she. I apologize in advance, cause that's a big part of my character. Yeah, Aragorn, me too. I'm like, but wait. No, this is good. We're all gonna get used to it.
John, do you have a suggestion for one that you might prefer?
I don't have a preference. You have another 30 minutes. So you can either choose to use that 30 minutes now, or we can move it on.
You know what? Let's stop, and maybe we can spend the next little bit, if you're okay with it, just talk any questions that people have about
Sure.
the process.
All right.
Then we can, and then of course, if there are no questions, we can continue. But I'm assuming that there might be some explanations needed for what we were doing.
So this is a little bit of a different style of game, obviously, from Exalted, where everything is hard and, life-threatening. And this game is not. This game is a game where you can spend a whole bunch of time just trying to get a cop to sculpt something. What's interesting is that the way that you started doing it, you always run the risk. It's one of the issues of being she.
Yeah.
Is that you are kind of like this epitome of beauty. And beauty isn't just about your appearance. I mean, like, I know that you have an appearance stat, and the appearance stat is 6, which means that you are technically a higher appearance than any mortal could ever be. But appearance isn't just merely about looks. It's also just in the way you move, in the way you talk, right? If you were appearance 4 and you talked like this all the time, right? Like, it can change how various people can interpret you, right? The whole point of the movie Singin' in the Rain is about somebody who, has a very high appearance but a very low charisma. And so they have to get somebody else to come in and do it for them. But I choose to interpret appearance as more than just the physical outward appearance. But it does mean that people react to you in certain ways. You're distracting to a lot of people. But more than that, there are people who will, if they're lonely and somebody like that interacts with them, it's a shock. Is that what you expected?
I did think that it was a risk, that it kind of came with the territory. It makes it very challenging, but also a fun challenge to roleplay as a character like that, because she would be very aware as well, because she's so hyper perceptive. So she knows the effect that she's having on people, and she pushes it just far enough and then pulls back, and then just it's yeah, it's cool.
Now, if he had, collapsed on his knees and just confessed love to you, would that have been something that would have immediately been like, whoa, or would that have actually kind of played right into her hands? The concept of the faerie that, lets somebody falls in love with them for a time and then put them aside.
I think that she, like, when he asked, will you go away? And she said yes. I think she wants to be very upfront with the fact that this is not a permanent situation.
But you botched that role.
Yeah, I know. To flitting in and out of people's lives. And I think that if anybody ever seemed like they were going to get too attached, she would step away for a bit, because they need to understand that that's not the deal.
So when you botched that role, that perception role, and he looked relieved, what's interesting is that at that point, he had decided that he can't spend time around you. That it's, at that point, it's too much for him. It's overwhelming. Unkpot muted something? What? Kung Fu Fenris made mention of the fact that it's very much a manic pixie dream girl situation.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
So the weird thing is that a manic pixie dream girl is not in and of itself, and I'm fully aware of it because it's a trope that I have to deal with in my writing, right? Like, I was, for instance, for LARPs, I was very insistent that Kat was not a manic pixie dream girl, that she wasn't just going to show up and be like, I'm the perfect thing that everybody needs, and then like goes away or inevitably develops some fatal disease or whatever, right? Why Evan on LARPs hates checkers. But a manic pixie dream girl in and of itself, as part of a story, is not a bad thing. It's actually just, it's the modern interpretation of a very old story. So that's why it's interesting to me. Fae stories.
It's a thriller. Yeah, Aragorn and Kung Fu. Yeah, I was definitely thinking that, and I kind of had this moment when I was creating the character that was like, okay, you know, you have somebody who feeds off of people, like for glamour, and she, you know, she's very good at you know, changing her personality and her address based off of what they want to hear. Like, she's almost a courtesan in that sense. But my thought was kind of that because she is like appearance 6, which is, you know, unheard of for mortals, and the way that she keeps this kind of like ethereal distance from them, I feel like that's her safeguard. That makes any sense. Like, she doesn't feel real to people. She feels like a dream. At least that's what I'm trying to get across. So we'll see.
So Real Burkwall makes a really good point. I think the primary criticism of the Manic Pixie Dream Girl is that its prevalence and its usual presentation reduce women to story devices, rather than characters with motivations. It really doesn't apply to Sophia, whose motivations and point of view are a third of this story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of really telling, is why does the Manic Pixie Dream Girl do what she does? And often when you're presented with that, it's strictly that they do it because that's what they do. So in this case, you have a very specific reason to do it. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it ends, because you did fail your roll, which means that you have to wait a week before you're able to roll again. That week will be Friday. Why did I choose Changelings and not a whole different system like Pathfinder or even something on the Apocalypse engine? I like the storyteller system as a story. I've got a lot of experience playing Changeling, although admittedly, this is the first time that I've had somebody straight up play a whole reverie out. Specifically, I actually kind of like the fact that we can do this now on like private streams, because I think that's a neat, like, I had fun. Did you have fun?
Oh my God, I had so much fun. And it took way longer than I expected too. Like, I thought that this could legitimately be a 30-minute thing, and then you would just spend the rest of it, you know, doing your usual RPG clinic.
So, I mean, it can, but the thing is that we still don't know a lot about Sophia, so it's nice to see her in action, which is why I let this play out. I could have just been like, so yeah, after you talk to him for a bit, he's just awfully nervous because he really wants to be a sculptor, and clearly you intimidate him based on your courage and your beauty, but he keeps calling you back every week, and then there, he's made a sculpture. And I could have done that, but...
Well, I'm so glad you guys had fun. This is great.
So I'm really pleased that it worked out. This is what RPG Clinic is basically going to look like from here on in. When I can get a player to come on, they'll do something like this. And it's not going to be Liz all the time. I will get Kate, I will get Scott. And I'll still probably do some Q&As now and then, especially if there's a lot of people who have a lot of questions they want to ask. But being able to do this and explore a character in more depth is something that's interesting to me, because Changeling is, perhaps more so than Exalted, a lot more about personal stories and character development, even though we got a ton of that in Exalted, which is great. it really is a focus of this game. So I'm kind of curious to see what it would be like.
And it's nice to have these one-on-one moments that are really drawn out. You don't, because there's none of the other PCs are here, you don't feel the pressure of, oh, okay, wait, we've spent too long here, we need to move. And it was nice for me too, because my character is so heavily weighted in this type of games. So to get like a full 2 hours of just practicing my socializing and my reverie.
But again, this is not a required session, right? Like, people could just say, Sophia attempted reverie, failed her second roll, and so she'll have to wait a week. And they don't need to watch this, but they can if they want to get a better insight into who Sophia is.
Yep.
So I'm definitely thinking that we're going to keep doing this. I think this was great.
Yes.
I know that it's a skill for players and for a storyteller to bounce back and forth between them, especially if they've split themselves up. And it's really relaxing to not have to do that. So I think it's a necessity for Sunday where I have to drive the plot. But for this, where there's no such pressure, it's good. I like it. My apologies, by the way, to Aragwen, who I butchered her lovely overlay in order to modify it just for this one stream. But Ben, that's what a lot of people end up doing. So there you go.
Aragwen, to answer your question, yeah, I was worried about playing a social heavy character because of the on-the-spot chatter. How am I finding it? I found that it really worked this time. Hopefully it continues that way, but it felt good, felt natural. Not that I do this.
Yeah, so that's the story. It is like DLC. It's literally, it's content that you can download.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's, I don't think you have to worry so much. I think that you'll get some things on your side. And one of the things that's important to realize about Changeling, just as any media that you see, especially media set in the modern day, is that it's not meant to be completely realistic. You know, normally a cop's being approached by somebody who is a world-class musician and saying, you can sculpt me. That cop would be like reaching for their gun. But we don't have to do it that way, right? Like, this is the world of darkness. It's going to operate on different levels. And remember that Sophia's not human. Right. So things will be different.
Krister's interested to see how Sophia would handle an encounter with autumn people.
That's going to be an interesting moment. That will admittedly be difficult, I think, for everyone involved. But World of Darkness operates on characters making horror movie decisions, not normal ones. Yep. And there will be moments where Sophia might, like, here's the thing. It's very possible that Sophia may have tried to do it on this guy, and he's like, I have Banality 8, and it would have gone poorly, and she never would have succeeded, and wah-wah, and that would have been a nice lesson about how you can't always get what you want.
But then, boom, House Liam, Glamour, remove your banality, boom!
The Crosshair asks a very specific question. Tomorrow, Punchy, special time?
If we're in the stream plugging session.
Sure.
Or the session. Just to let you guys know, I'm going away for the weekend, so Punchy will not be at the usual time. I'm going to stream from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock EDT. Really hoping I'm not stepping on anybody's stream toes. If I am, please let me know, and I will change if I can. Scott's going to be steel streaming, so we're going to get some more Dream Daddy.
Oh, is he streaming on the Punchy time?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
I'm going to be hosting him, so even if you end up on my channel, you will be there.
So, Kung Fu Fenris, I can't imagine that Sophia's ever tried to Rhapsody somebody. Rhapsody being forcefully burning them out. That would be
highly doubt it. She would have to be really desperate.
yeah.
John's like, challenge accepted.
Where the heck am I right now, Ben? I'm in my super secret location. I'm in front of a green screen, Ben. Yeah, it is a green screen. So, and it's not absolutely perfect. Like you can see if you come close to me that I have some dithering on my edges, but you know.
Oh, John, stop your dithering.
I have some very special things already in play, getting ready for Sunday. Sunday is going to be another session of Changeling the Streaming at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We hope to see you. Still looking for more of those hashtag guest darts. If you manage to get those in, we would love it, because we would love it. I am going to ask that Laurent, I need to know whether or not at some point I can post what I was given while I was in Montreal, but I'm going to leave that to you. I'm going to leave that as your option. In the meantime, folks, might I say that I really had fun. Thank you so much to you, Liz.
Thank you for having me.
And, I have some dithering on my edges. Captain Daft, you know.
Oh, Crosshair had a question about what date Sunday would be taking place on.
Sunday will not be the 18th. Sunday will probably advance in time. One of the things that I do want to make sure that characters know is that it's okay to let time move forward. Even though, yeah, there were some people in the basement and they... Rock Pants donates for to lulz. Thank you, Rock Pants. And Aragwen, I couldn't bring the pillow with me. However, Kate is holding on to it because I'm coming back to Montreal soon. So hopefully I'll have the time to move it back there. So I still have it. Please don't think that I don't appreciate it. I just didn't want to wreck it, because I've seen it when things get wrecked. But anyway, I don't know if Laurent answered me. I think maybe he might have stepped away. So we'll catch him. I'll PM him. No, I don't have a body pillow of me. But I want the players to realize that it's okay to let time elapse, and I'm not going to necessarily punish them over much for that unless I make it clear. But the other thing is that it's also possible that they'll start the session and be like, okay, here are the things that we wanted to do between that Sunday and this Sunday, and we'll knock them out in like 15 minutes of like just quick investigative stuff, and then we can get back into the game. So
yeah, it's a fantastic idea, John. Like, I'm, my hat's off to you for coming up with it. Great plan.
Oh, Wakfu, that's not bad. It's not bad. I have the body of it. Wait, oh God, what the? All right, that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tomorrow, Punchy at an earlier time, 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
3, right?
1 to 3.
1 to 3. 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then more Dream Daddy. 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time over at Biff the Boss. And we'll see you Sunday right here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll have this up on YouTube, so people will be able to watch it in 24 hours. Bye, Liz.
Bye.
Bye, chat. And thank you so much for the donation fight. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. It's actually coming at a really good time. Thanks.